Every season, always an opportunity for a few players to rise up their stock and get the golden opportunity to be named an NBA All-Star. Dreaming and making basketball greatness becoming reality, tons of star caliber players around the league. Only the all-time greats gets a guaranteed spot to the All-Star team for double-digit seasons, but many one and dones throughout the years. Forgotten players who many new basketball fans have no idea those players actually became All-Stars, even if it's just for one season. As of today, exactly 443 players have been selected to an All-Star game at least once, while 3/4 of them have earned multiple selections. As the years fly by, people who were born around the time Michael Jordan was in his very prime, people around 30 years old as of 2022. Let's take a look at 12 former All-Stars from the 90s decade, casual fans under the age of 30 today never heard of. Starting with Hersey Hawkins of the Philadelphia 76ers. After the retirement of Dr. J, departure of Moses, and decline of Mo Cheeks, Barkley's last 4 Sixers season, only teammate Hawkins sniffed the All-Star team with Chuck. The 91 season, very lethal outside shooter. Out of Bradley College, one of 11 collegiate players as of 2022 to score over 3,000 career points, exploded year 4 at age 24, averaged 22 a game, over 2 steals, 40 from deep, attempting 3.5 trays a game, 6 most made threes that season, equivalent to Zach LaVine and Duncan Robinson range factoring today's NBA. Great complimentary scorer, one of the players who would absolutely drive in today's game, went on to play for the Hornets and Seattle Sonics, where he made the finals as the starting backcourt mate with Gary Payton, a player whose skill set's a few decades ahead of his time. Most people under age 30 don't know much of him unless it's longtime Sixers, Hornets, or Sonics fans who have older friends and family members that'll rave about him shooting the long bomb in the 90s. Fat Lever, who wasn't actually fat, quite skinny, listed 170 pounds, missed the triple-double of his time. Lever retired, having the 5th most triple-doubles all time, but with today's pace of the NBA, many current stars already surpassed him, like Doncic and Jokic. The 6'3" guard, the focal point of the high-power scoring Nuggets during the mid-80s, a terrific defender after making All-NBA in '87 with averages of 19, 9 and 8, 2.5 steals. Lever finally made the All-Star team the following season at the prime of his career, 20 points a game, over 9 boards, 8 assists, 2.7 steals on a franchise that barely gets talked about, always in the tier below Magic and Isaiah. At his best, between the top 15 to 20 player in the league, an upgraded version of Lonzo Ball. Lever did his best work from 86 to 90, made 2 All-Star teams in 88 and 90, a 4-year peak of 19 points, 9 rebounds, 7.5 assists, 2.5 steals. At 6'3", made 1 defensive team in 88. Had he been healthy for just a couple more seasons, would have likely made the Hall of Fame before there was Russell Westbrook. Lever was fantastic crashing the glass. One of 3 players to ever record a 15-plus point rebound and assist game in the playoffs, joining Wilt and Jay Kidd. The Nuggets retired his number 12 jersey in 2017. Lever retired with the Mavs after the 94 season. Ricky Pierce, a lethal 6th man for the mid-80s Bucks, another guy under the radar, spent 8 seasons in Milwaukee, 2 6-man awards in 87 and 90, took 9 seasons to become an All-Star in 1991, traded 5 days after the All-Star game to the Sonics. Pierce averaged 22.5 points the first 46 games of the 91 season. At 6'4", actually had 6 straight seasons shooting above 50%. Very impactful player until reaching age 36, 16 seasons in the league. Forever the classic OG 6-man before Jamal Crawford and Lou Williams. Kevin Duckworth, who was actually a 2-time All-Star out of Eastern Illinois University, a 2nd-round pick in '86 by San Antonio, traded to Portland in exchange for Walter Berry, earned Most Improved Player 2nd season, went from averaging 5.4 points as a rookie to 15.8, then by year 3, made the All-Star team in '89, averaged 18 and 8 with a team having Clyde Drexler, Terry Porter, Jerome Kersey, a key piece to the early 90s Blazers success that made 2 finals. As the starting center, Duckworth one of 3 All-Stars in '91 for Portland, alongside Drexler and Terry Porter. The '91 Blazers team in fact would have likely challenged the Bulls more competitively than '92, with 7 guys capable of dropping 20 on any given night, won 63 games, but fell to Magic's Lakers, a production dip in the playoffs. Duckworth averaged under 12 and 7, then regressed the following season, became a 10 and 6 guy, lost his ability to score with consistency, picked up weight, bounced around Washington, Milwaukee, and the Clippers, retired after '97. Duckworth sadly passed away in August of 2008, age 44, from a congestive heart failure. Michael Adams, only 11 seasons in the league at just 5'10", 160, a third round pick by the Kings. After a rough start, Adams absolutely balled out during the 91 season, averaged 26.5 points, 10.5 assists, 2.2 steals with the Nuggets, but didn't become an all-star till the following season when traded to the Bullets, averaged 18 points, 7.6 dimes. His high scoring, due to the ridiculous fast pace of the Nuggets, averaged 120 a game that season, also became known as having one of the very weird looking jump shots, effective though very ugly. Recorded 79 straight games with a 3-point made from 88 to 89, was pretty hated at the time for taking too many threes, led the NBA in 3-point field goal attempts 4 seasons in a row, the original 3-point shot taker. Guys like Dale Ellis and Reggie Miller follow Adams' footsteps, one of the names you might hear from the record books and stats, but a player you don't know much about. Adams also excellent at behind the back passes, however lacks playoff success. Otis Thorpe, although Hakeem Olajuwon one of the greatest single season carry jobs, winning the 94 title, second best teammate Thorpe, a 6'10" power forward. A little past his prime during the title run, but an all-star 2 seasons before in 92, averaged over 17 and 10, 59% from the field. Thorpe, the only other Rocket besides Dream between 88 to 95 to make an all-star team, despite not being his best statistical season, which happened in 88 with the struggling Kings, where he put up 21 and 10. The anger of the 91 Rockets when Hakeem got hurt still helped the team win 52 games despite Dream missing 32 games due to injury that year. 5 times in his career posted double-double stat lines for a season. After the hiring of head coach Rudy Tomjanovich, Thorpe played less minutes. Rockets offense designed with more 3-point shooting surrounding Hakeem. Although Houston needed his presence winning the 94 title, Thorpe also traded for Clyde Drexler the following midseason, a legend in Rockets history. Dana Barros, one-time All-Star, also won Most Improved Player in 95, averaged 20.6 points, 7.5 assists, 49% from the field, over 46 from 3, a sniper, averaged just 13.3 points the year before, put up single digits each of his first 4 seasons, considered a classic one-year wonder, a 7.4 point difference between his highest to second highest scoring year. The human dynamo, just one of 3 guards all time to record a 50-point stat line, shooting over 80% from the field alongside Michael Jordan and Kyrie Irving. Barros, a 14-year career, the definition of an outlier, the former record setter hitting at least one 3-pointer for 89 consecutive games from December 94 to January of 96. Finally broken by Kyle Korver in 2013, then of course broken by Steph Curry, broken again by Steph Curry. Tyrone Hill, who many only heard of his name from watching old NBA classics, mainly the 01 Sixer Laker NBA Finals Game 1. Hill, the starting power forward from that team at 6'9", selected to the 95 All-Star team, member of the Cavs, a 14 and 11 guy in his prime, averaged double-digit scoring numbers for 5 seasons. The former 11 pick relied on quickness and toughness, considered undersized at the 4, part of Cleveland's transition after Lenny Wilkins' move to Atlanta and career-ending injuries to Brad Daugherty. Hill teamed up with teammate Terrell Brandon to keep the Cavs a playoff team, having a record 28 and 19 by the All-Star break, a huge surprise, earned the spot representing the 4th best team in the East at the time, despite being the least impressive member. Fans who watched him appreciated his efforts on the court, doing plenty of dirty work in the slow grinded out era. Hill's teammate Terrell Brandon, one of the forgotten great point guards in the late 90s and early 2000s, spent first 6 seasons with the Cavs, 2 best seasons, 96 and 97, back-to-back All-Stars, over 16 a game, over 6 dimes, nearly 2 steals, overshadowed by elite players in his positions like the John Stocktons, Pennies, and Tim Hardaways, and the Gary Paytons of the world. Brandon would be in the Nick Van Exel, Sam Cassell category in terms of talent, a fair comparison for recent point guards prime Goran Dragic. Brandon also on the cover of Sports Illustrated at the time of his prime with the title that reads Best Point Guard in the NBA, similar to how Mike Conley will be forgotten 2 decades later. Brandon, one of the most forgotten players in the 90s, also solid with a young Kevin Garnett on the Timberwolves, retired after age 31 due to knee injuries. His final season in 02, connected on nearly 99% of his free throws, 83 of 84 from the line, way better percentage than Russell Westbrook taking wide open layups. Chris Gatling, one of the most random all-stars the league has ever seen. The Energizer played for the Mavs and Nets during the 97 season, averaged 19 and 8 in his prime, over 5 more points than his second highest scoring season, a 10 and 5 career guy, 11 NBA seasons, actually came off the bench for most of his career, starting just 86 of 700 career games, was in the running for 6th man, traded to New Jersey, a terrible team at the time, and non-selection, 3 players from the West needed a replacement. A journeyman suited for 8 different teams, known as a role player, definitely a name many under the age of 30 today the least familiar with on this list. Tom Gugliotta, 13 and 7 career guy, the Long Island native also made the All-Star team in 97, a replacement, one of 5 guys chosen as a backup. At the height of his powers, averaged 20.6 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, over a steal and a half and a block. Teammate second year Kevin Garnett, also a replacement, the lone all-star outside of KG in Garnett's first 5 seasons with the franchise. Gugliotta looked like he was going to be an all-star for years, but with a combination of injuries, had to remove a spur bone in his ankles in 98, started at least 63 games each of his first 5 years, but never played more than 54 games in the full season again, had a near-death experience in 99, an absolutely scary moment having a seizure. If it wasn't for his wife's quick act and calling teammate Rex Chapman, who went back to the team bus and found Tom's gym bags, knowing what he took, ER doctor says without that information in a timely manner, Gugliotta would have passed away. His game continued to regress in his late 20s to early 30s, having an ACL, MCL, and PCL tear in 2000 left him unable to play pickup games after retirement. Jason Williams, the one-time All-Star, played college ball at St. John's University, 7 seasons with the Nets, 2 with Philly, made the All-Star team second to last season in 98, averaged 13 points, nearly 14 boards, a 6'9" center. The following season, his career took a tragic turn, hurting his knee, colliding with teammate Stephon Marbury, a sudden leg injury, forced to retire. After the NBA, Williams shot and killed his limo driver after playing with his shotgun and didn't check if the weapon was loaded, also intoxicated at the time, charged with reckless manslaughter. Convicted, spent time in prison, struggled with drinking problems, got into even more trouble with the law, combined with excessive medication, now an advocate, founded a recovery program called Rebound in helping individuals dealing with their struggles. Honorable mentions includes former stars many of you have heard of but might not know too much about. Reggie Lewis of the Boston Celtics tragically passed away in 93 at 27 after collapsing. Kevin Willis played 21 seasons in the league, was in the NBA at age 44 in 2007. Vin Baker of the Bucks and Sonics, and AZ Green, who many of you obviously heard of from Showtime. What many didn't know, he was a one-time All-Star in 1990. For those of you who watched the NBA during the 90s, which one of these former All-Stars were you more shocked by? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love all of you. See you next time.